He who pays the piper calls the tune. You learn it at your mother's knee and forget it at your peril. It is the central accusation of many levelled against the officially recognised Leave campaign from 2016's EU referendum. In the last days of that campaign, Vote Leave passed more than £600,000 to another campaign group, Believe, that was happily ensconced in Vote Leave's offices. Vote Leave was close to its spending cap of £7 million, but suddenly had cash to spare. The money went to a data-driven campaign organisation, AIQ, a group that Vote Leave campaign organiser, Dominic Cummings, would later credit with what he called a great deal of the Leave campaign's success. Vote Leave and its officers insist that they did not break electoral law. What would be illegal is if that money was given to what was effectively a front organisation and that the cash was still being directed by its source. That is the allegation made by Shahmir Sanni, the former treasurer of Believe. He says that the money passed to Believe never touched the sides of the organisation, that it was rerouted to AIQ without the involvement of Believe. He further alleges that when an investigation was begun into the links between Vote Leave and Believe, a senior officer of Vote Leave deleted from shared files references to Vote Leave officials. That allegation has been described by Dominic Cummings of Vote Leave as factually wrong and libellous. Tomorrow, Shahmir Sanni will make public what he says is the proof of his allegations, and he joins me now. Welcome.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hello, very well, thank you. You volunteered with Vote Leave sometime before the referendum, that's right?
Yes, I started volunteering at Believe in March 2016.
And at some point, Believe, what was supposed to be a youth organisation campaigning for Leave, came into existence.
Yeah, so I bumped into Darren at the Vote Leave offices.
Darren Grimes, yeah?
Darren Grimes, and I found out about Believe as an outreach group set up by Vote Leave, which it was, and sort of, I immediately fell in love with it, really, because it had the same values that I held as a Eurosceptic, which were, progressive liberal reasons to leave the European Union, such as, passport discrimination and how EU protectionism harms African farmers. So I immediately became I was immediately sort of wooed by Believe. So,
and you were an active member of it?
Yes, I became an active member of it April.
You are pictured during the campaign wearing Vote Leave sweatshirts and handing out Vote Leave literature. To what extent did the group Believe actually exist on the ground?
So Believe itself was a totally digital campaign. So all of our stuff was coming online. We were on Facebook, Twitter, etc. So we weren't doing groundwork.
So it's a letterhead and a desk in some offices and a web presence.
Right. Yeah. Yes, exactly. And so I would be coming into the Vote Leave head offices two to three times a week, and just sort of working from there on Believe, even when Believe had become a separate organisation and not an outreach group anymore.
OK, and 10 days or so before the referendum comes this pretty substantial sum of money, £625,000, that is handed over from Vote Leave to Believe. You thought, whoopee, I'll get my expenses paid. But then you were told that the money is going to head straight to this data-driven campaign organisation, AIQ. And you thought, what? Well, that's probably a good use for it? Were you surprised that you had no role in deciding where it was to go?
Well, you see, at that point, I was still a Vote Leave volunteer. And even though I was treasurer and secretary of Believe, for me, I had never made I had sort of never disassociated myself or even assumed that I wasn't a Vote Leave volunteer, because I was still reporting to all the people at Vote Leave. And when I found out about that donation, I was elated. I was 22 and I was thinking, wow, the first thing I thought was, I'm going to put this on my LinkedIn. That's the thought that ran through my head.
But the money itself, you actually had no role in spending. You found that out pretty quickly, right?
No,
okay.
Yeah, because I had asked I said, okay, can I get my, travel expenses paid? Can I get some, take some money to pay for like food, etc. But I couldn't. I was told, no, the only way for us to get this money is if it goes to AIQ.
Okay, so let's fast forward. You shrug your way past this one, but your epiphany comes when you find a shared Google Drive where Believe volunteers such as yourself and Darren Grimes, you mentioned earlier, share content with the leadership of Vote Leave and the data analytics firm AIQ. And this is a blinding light because in your eyes it proves not only that Vote Leave were coordinating with Believe, but that after the event, Vote Leave tried to obstruct investigations by cleaning their names from files in that drive. Do you have concrete proof that they tried to clean their names from the files in that drive?
Well, the evidence is already out there. You just need to go on to the Guardian website or just go on Twitter and you can see the Google Drive. However, I don't know why Victoria Woodcock was removing Dominic Cummings,
the senior
and
officer
Henry
from
Deszut.
Vote Leave.
Yeah, she was a chief operation officer of Vote Leave. Why she was removing Dominic Cummings and Henry Deszut from the drive, I don't know why she.
But you do know, and you can show that she was doing that in the days after an investigation was launched.
Oh yeah, so this is everything that I have said has been backed up by lawyers who will be presenting their recommendations to MPs tomorrow at a press conference in London.
And Dominic Cummings, the man involved here, says this is factually wrong and libelous. He says you are lying.
Dominic Cummings can say what you know what, this isn't about me. This has never been about me.
No, it's about the truth.
But
he says you're lying.
And the truth. Well, the evidence is there.
And you will be able to, you will show tomorrow that the evidence is there, that the names were cleaned out of these documents that showed a direct link between Vote Leave, Believe and AIQ.
Yes.
So when Boris Johnson says this vote was won fair and square, how do you react?
Well, it's not up to Boris to say whether these allegations are false or true. The people, this is quite literally a matter of democracy. And it's up to the people of this country, the British people, to have a look at the evidence themselves and make it and sort of decide for themselves whether the allegations are false or true. And then obviously, two QCs have looked at the evidence and lawyers are looking at the evidence and said there is reasonable ground. And so they're going to be presenting their recommendations tomorrow to MPs.
Shahmir, Sanni, thank you for your time this afternoon.